Thank you, Sodas, and I'd like to acknowledge this land that we meet on today is the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with the country. How good were those young blokes? That is very special, our Aboriginal Academy team. Great, they spend every Wednesday with us. They're a super bunch of kids. They've got a table and they'll be with us for the rest of the night. Go up and talk to them and ask them about their trip to China. They've just come back. These young blokes who have never been outside of South Australia, some of them outside of Adelaide, have toured China, played against the Chinese national team, did their war cry on the Great Wall of China. Go to the website, Port Adelaide website, and take a look at the video. It is fantastic. So it's great to have them here tonight. Also, great you could all join us tonight. I know it's a bit different. It's a bit later than BNF usually because the Magpies got into the finals and the AFL side didn't get through. So we did it a bit later, but I've got to say I quite like it. 3 months without footy, I've actually missed you guys. And it's nice to all get together, isn't it, in the lead up to Christmas and celebrate the club and get a bit of a footy fix. So hope you enjoyed tonight. Welcome to the 2015 Best and Fairest and the John Cale Medal presentation. Couple of acknowledgement, VIP guests with us tonight. Of course, inaugural Port Adelaide coach John Cale with our medal named in his honour, and Alison McLeod. Welcome to you both. Good to have you back at the club. Our joint major partners, Renault and Energy Australia. Our sample joint major partner, Energy Australia again, and Main North Renault and Paddy's Foods. Food Bank Chief Executive Greg Pattinson, the Honourable Susan Close MP and Declan Andrews, Vicky Chapman MP, welcome. Port Adelaide Enfield Mayor Gary Johansson and wife Vicky. Gary, we love representing our district, our region, and we've got big plans in the future. Port Adelaide is our traditional home. It's where our heart is. You will never get rid of us, and we really appreciate your support from the council. Sample Chief Executive Jake Parkinson. Jake, welcome. Former Port Adelaide President Greg Bolton and wife Cheryl, always great to have you here, along with Brian Cunningham and Annette. Thank you for attending. Former club directors, past and present, a very big welcome. And also Jeff Motley, a club legend, and Sue Bates, past John Cale medalist Darren Mead, wife Julie, Warren Tredray and wife Rachel, welcome. Our club patrons, Grace Scott and Sir Eric Neil and Lady Neil, thank you for joining us. I have a bit of a conflict because Sir Eric is a relative of mine, and he was talking to Mum the other week, and his family's due, and he said, because David and I are family, do you think he's too embarrassed to get rid of me as patron, and do they want somebody a bit older? So a bit younger rather, and maybe older, wiser. So I put it to the board yesterday, who are absolutely horrified and said, what's he want to ditch us? So Sir Eric, thank you for seeing us through the good and the bad times here at Port Adelaide. And if you'll have us, we would love you to continue being patron for as long as you like. So thank you to you and Joan for attending. Also, our new recruits, welcome to the Port Adelaide Football Club. This is a club with an enormous tradition, an enormous history, and now it's your turn to write your part in our history. And we couldn't be more grateful to see you with us, and wish you all the very best. I'd also like to pause and remember at this time Trevor Obst, Bubbles Obst, who passed away this week. A Port Adelaide legend, 200 games, four-time premiership player, Magarey medalist, dad of Christine Ebert and granddad of Brad Ebert. Our thoughts are with the Obst and Ebert families this weekend as they battle with that. Of course, the Obst and Ebert surnames, absolute Port Adelaide royalty. 2015, what a year it was. Disappointing on field, where we failed to meet our own expectations in both the AFL and SANFL. Ninth in the AFL, lost 2 consecutive SANFL finals to finish 4th. We reviewed our season thoroughly. We've learned some valuable lessons, and Ken Hinkley will talk about that a little later. We also learnt that footy is not the be-all and end-all when we lost our great friend and Port Adelaide Life member Phil Walsh in early July. So 2015 was a bittersweet year for us because despite the on-field disappointment, the club achieved some outstanding results over the year. And we're one club. We all own our disappointments and we all celebrate our successes. And that's what sets us apart from most other clubs. So I'd like to go through tonight my 5 highlights for 2015. And I've been excited about this year. I said to Lib before we came, I'm excited about tonight because we've had an exciting year. And she said, don't get too excited because sometimes you talk too long. So I'm looking at Lib here, who will give me the wind up if she thinks I'm going too long. But my first of my 5 highlights for the year was the football department. Even though it was a disappointing year, we didn't make the finals. But for me, it's the way we dealt with this year that has been the highlight. Nothing annoyed me more this year than people coming up to me and saying, you're the best side outside of the 8. And I'd say, well, I'd bloody well like to be the best side in the 8. Or people would come up and say, this is your West Coast year. You know, this is the year you had to have. And I kept reminding them that there are a lot of other teams that didn't make the finals last year, along with West Coast, that still didn't make the finals this year. And it's what you do with these disappointments that really make a club and build its character. We own the problem, we identified the issues, there were no excuses, and importantly did something about it in the middle of the year. We didn't say, we've gone through something, we're not going to make the finals, hey, let's wipe the year off. That's not the Port Adelaide way. We actually did something about it. We won 7 of the last 9. We played Port Adelaide football right to the very end. We're the only team to beat Hawthorn twice during the year. For me, that showed the character of our team. It showed us the character of our leadership group, and it showed us the character of our coaching group. So for me, it was a huge highlight in how we responded. And congratulations to Trav and the team and Ken and the coaching staff for showing that character, for owning the disappointment, for doing something about it. And while I'm on the team, a very big welcome to our draft guys, our rookie drafts. I went and saw them train this morning. Guys, welcome to the AFL. It's pretty tough. Also to Charlie Dixon and Jimmy Tumpus, who came across to us in the trade. I've already had a selfie with Charlie. I'm a pretty big unit. Holy hell, I'm nothing compared with him. He is a monster. And the beard is coming back. So Westy, the beards are going to rule this year, let me tell you. We've also added experience in the coaching box with Nathan Bassett coming to us. Nathan, a very big welcome. Gary Hocking returning from the Magpies to the Power Coaches box. And I think a really big statement for us, saying how important the Magpies are to us, how important we focus on the Magpies, and they've got to flourish, and game day at Alberton has got to be just as good as game day at Adelaide Oval, was the appointment of Chad Corns as the Magpies leads coach. I talked about Port Adelaide royalty in terms of surnames earlier. That Corns name is up with our Port Adelaide royalty as well. So Chad, we are so excited. Add in the development of Indigenous and multicultural football academies next year, and I reckon our football department is just going to be humming in 2016. My second highlight of the year, Lib is just having a drink. I thought you were winding me up there. I've got 4 to go. My second highlight was you. Just think where we were 3 years ago. And basically, you as a membership and supporter group basically said, stuff it, we're going to prove the doomsayers wrong. And you have been absolutely magnificent. In 2015, for the first time in our history, in terms of membership, AFL audited figures, we are now the biggest AFL club in South Australia. Who would have thought? Who would have thought 3 years ago when people were saying that Adelaide couldn't sustain two AFL clubs, Victorian media writers were saying we didn't deserve to be in the league, and we have come back to have the 6th highest membership in the AFL. Our home game attendance, 43,800, the 4th highest in the AFL, and we didn't make the finals. And for the first time since 2007, because of your support and that seismic shift that you've created in South Australian football and the AFL nationally, for the first time since 2007, we declared a after depreciation, that's important because most clubs don't do this, an after depreciation profit of $211,000. That's a $2.8 million turnaround from last year, and over the last 3 years, a $10.7 million turnaround. That's all because of you and your support. And because of that, our strategy has always been, since 2012, to give our team the resources they need to succeed. So we've injected an extra $5 million into the footy department and still made a profit this year. And we had a strategy of engaging you and making sure that you thought that we are the highlight of your week. We wanted to be the best membership that you have in your life. And whether it's Matty Richardson and the membership team who do a AFL leading job in terms of servicing our members, through to our events team with that incredible game day experience at Adelaide Oval, we've tried to do that. And our investment in the footy program is part of that as well. This passion has made an enormous difference, and it's made an enormous difference to our corporate supporters too. Our corporate revenue has increased 140% since 2012. In 2015, we welcomed major national brands like Oak Milk, Parmalat, 4 and 20, RAA, UBet, joining our existing partners Renault and Energy Australia. We have a bunch of corporate supporters with incredibly prestigious international, national and South Australian brands, and we really do appreciate their support because they're reacting to you as members but also contributing to those resources in the club. So my second highlight is our members and also our corporate sponsors. Thank you very much. The third highlight is our community programs. We exist to win premierships and make our community proud. That's our mission statement. And both are equally as important. We are the only non-Victorian club in the AFL to have risen from a community-based level up to the AFL, and we're proud of that. And I was asked on 5AA last night, Hawthorn makes $6 and $7 million profits. Can you ever see Port Adelaide doing that? And I said, hey, we're not a bank, we're not BHP, we don't pay dividends to shareholders. Our stakeholders are the community. I never want to make $5 and $6 million profit because that means we wouldn't be putting enough back into our community programs, which is a real priority to us. Our Aboriginal programs are just world class. Our Aboriginal Power Cup, our Willpower program through remote areas of South Australia, Barkly region and APY lands. Lib was lucky enough to be a volunteer on one of them a month or two ago. Went away for a week with Paulie and Wade and Sasha and fell in love with Gavin Wanganeen. if I've heard it once, I've heard it 100 times since she came back. Gavin said this, Gavin said that. And I'm thinking, Gav, shut up. She's not going again. No, I'm only joking. But Lib is a director of Youth Off the Streets, which is a big community group in New South Wales. We have the Koch Centre for Youth at Macquarie Field, so we know a bit about community programs. Lib came back stunned. She said, I knew they'd be good. I didn't know they'd be this good. She said, this program and the people that we have working for us in community are absolutely sensational. So to our community team and our Aboriginal team, Paulie and the team, just fantastic. And you are really a highlight of this club that we hide a little bit too much. We've got to be more openly proud of you. Then we have our schools program, empowering youth, our charity programs with Food Bank and the Power to End Hunger, our association with the Childhood Cancer Association. Our move into China has been spectacular. We've had the Sasta Aboriginal team go up there, as you know. We continue to build on that. We'll have a full board meeting in Hong Kong next year as well. We'll be holding another grand final event in early October. We'll continue to expand our Mandarin commentary team. If you're learning Mandarin, listen to your team play and improve your Mandarin, because we're the only AFL team that does it. We'll be broadcasting probably into China next year as well. It's very exciting. So 2016, in terms of our move into China, is going to be a highlight for next year. Also, in continuing to expand our commitment to community, we're launching our Respectful Relationships program, specifically designed to engage young people in the highly sensitive topic of domestic violence. We're really passionate about that. That starts next year. It will be incredibly well funded. We're going to increase our commitment to our Aboriginal programs in remote areas of South Australia and further develop our partnership with charity partners like Childhood Cancer Association and Food Bank. Community is in our DNA, and it will always be in our DNA. My fourth highlight is our Academy for High Performance Coaches. Would you believe, who would have thought little old Port Adelaide has become an exporter in the knowledge and education field? And it's at the cutting edge of sports science. It's one of the benefits of having one of the world's leading high performance coaches at this club in Darren Burgess and his team. Mate, Darren, thank you for your support. This is such an exciting project that we have on the go. I talked to our new Serbian coach, can't pronounce his name, but Ken's nicknamed him Ivan after Ivan Milat, which I think someone should fill him in on the background to that. But Ivan, I was talking to at training today, and he is so excited to be part of this organisation and is blown away by our standards and our professionalism. And that's what I love, that we get these international experts coming and wanting to work for us, and this High Performance Academy is going to really build on that. In June this year, we had our first pilot program, a short course, was filled up, was profitable, great feedback from the students. Half of them came from overseas, from big professional clubs overseas. We're going to do another 3 next year, leading into a full master's program in sports science in 2017. So we're all about learning in all aspects of footy. And if we can learn and share, I think that's a really important part of our ethos. So 2016 and 2017 are going to be important there. My final highlight, Lib, is our staff and volunteers. From our staff at not only at the training centre and our headquarters, but the Port Club, to Dad's Army, to Alfie and the team of volunteers who were there today in the heat when the boys were doing their training session this morning. Our volunteers are part of our DNA. They give us the magic that makes this club really special. So, and that includes the Port Adelaide board, which are the volunteers that I liaise with most in the organisation. And to the Port Adelaide board, thank you for your support. Thank you for your focus. Thank you for your clear-cut decision-making in a year that has been testing in some areas, but history will show will be groundbreaking in other areas. To our Chief Executive, Keith Thomas, mate, a great job, always. It is, you know, we talk ideas. I may come up with an idea. Keith runs with it. He makes it happen and makes me look bloody good. So it's fantastic. I think it's a fabulous combination. He makes me better than I really am. And on behalf of the entire community, to Keith and also to Chris Nunn and Richard Kelly in commercial, our events team, to Dawsey with the finance, and to Matthew Richardson and his membership team, we really have got a top-class group of people running our club. Finally, congratulations to all the award winners tonight in each of the categories. On the surface, 2015 seemed a disappointing year. It was a year where we can celebrate some incredible milestones. Our club is again profitable. We are the biggest club, AFL club in South Australia. We have a clear plan for the future designed to ensure that we achieve long-term success. Tonight is a full stop on 2015. I don't know about you, I cannot wait for 2016, and I cannot wait for your continued support. Enjoy the night, and ladies and gentlemen, keep the applause going for our head coach, Ken Hinkley.